next presentation is brought to you by our gold partners, What3words. We would like to introduce Ms. Zolzaya Chultembat. Ma'am, could you please come up on stage? She is the partnerships lead at What3words, and she will be sharing her presentation with us. Ladies and gentlemen, may we please have a huge round of applause for Ms. Zolzaya Chultembat. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Zolzaya from What3words, and I am here to talk about addresses and why we might need a new solution, a simpler way to talk about location for voice technology. And just to start with, I would like to discuss a few points about why traditional address system we use today don't work very well with voice. So the first one, the reason, if we think about when traditional addresses were invented, so they were invented a few hundred years ago to help a delivery man or woman deliver a letter through a letterbox, maybe like this, maybe on a horseback. So it's not fair, it didn't take into account the efficiency that we need today or the accuracy we need for tomorrow when we think about things like autonomous vehicles or drone deliveries, when we can't tell the driver to go a little bit further just because we're not quite at the right spot yet. And this, even now, this is an increasingly bigger problem where places like India, where the development is taking place very, very quickly, and the address infrastructure can't quite keep up with the pace. So just to give you an example, just in India last year, there were about 250 street name changes, and this makes it very difficult for the address database to be kept up to date, and this takes a lot of effort. So in practice, what we often end up having to do is resort to this way, which is landmark-based descriptive addresses. So as you can see here, when trying to describe a location, you have to go near Hyatt Regency, next to Hotel Hilton. So without knowing the local area, even as a human being, this is quite difficult. So when trying to explain this to a machine or a system, it can be even more confusing. Say you do actually find the address on Google Maps. Great. So this is an example for today's venue, the Sheraton Hotel. But what usually ends up happening is it drops a pin in the middle of the building. So there are multiple entrances. There's the entrance to the parking, there's the gate, but you don't actually know which way to go. So you end up having to go around just to find the right entrance, which can cause lots of frustration. And when we think about voice experience, there are a whole range of applications where location information plays a central role. It can be if you want to hail a ride, maybe deliver a package, or even just to check the weather. Especially when we think about the voice experience in the context of mobility space, navigation becomes one of the most useful, most important use cases. In fact, according to a recent survey by J.D. Powers, navigation was the most desired application when it comes to in-vehicle voice service. And when you're trying to navigate, having a reasonable and having a reliable way to input a destination becomes an essential part when you're trying to attempt to navigate anywhere. And with voice, it can be quite difficult. As I'm sure everybody in this room might know very well, voice and addresses don't mix very well together. So this is a really nice example from London just to illustrate how it is currently.
Yeah. Hey, Mercedes.
Yes, please.
Take me to Church Road, London.
Select an entry, please. What do you want to do?
So, as you can see here, the voice recognition is working perfectly, navigation is working perfectly, but The user experience, not so much. And this is not anyone's fault. It's just that addresses we're trying to use is not fit for the purpose. And in addition, not everyone speaks the same language. So if you can't read the alphabet, or I can't read a lot of the signs here because I don't speak Hindi, so that makes the voice experience impossible. And even if you can't read it, sometimes, if you're not a German speaker, I think we will struggle to pronounce this. And even if you can read, and even if you can't speak the language, there are regional dialects or local pronunciations of specific words. So, for example, my first instinct when I see this is to go Worcestershire, but actually the correct pronunciation is Worcestershire. So there are certain things you just have to learn, and then to teach each variation to the voice assistant can be a very, very challenging task. This is another one of my favorite examples. This is from New York. So if you went to your voice assistant, navigate to 41st Street, it can be 241st Street, or it can be 241st Street. So it's read out identically. So it's nearly impossible for the voice assistant to guess or to understand what you're saying. And even if they understand perfectly, because these two locations are really close to each other, it makes it impossible. And a lot of the times we went around these issues traditionally. Say if you're ordering an Ola or Uber, you can drop a pin to the specific location even if it doesn't understand you very well. But when we think about voice and when we think about hands-free experience, no screen, we end up having to resort to something like this, which is GPS coordinates. So it's perfect, it's great for machines, it's very accurate, it's very precise, it works the same way everywhere in the world. However, as a human being, this is very error prone. I would never go, let's meet at 24.7133 north. So if I confuse 6 and 8, I might end up in a completely wrong place, the machine might misunderstand me completely, and this wouldn't be a very good experience. So to solve all of this problem, we came up with a new and a simple way to talk about location. So what we've done is we've divided the entire world into a grid of 3 by 3 meter squares. And each square has been labeled with 3 unique words from the dictionary. So in the background, what's really happening is we're just translating GPS coordinate, latitude and longitude, to 3 words, so it's more human-friendly. So everywhere in the world now has, every 3 meter square in the world now has a 3-word address. Whether it's a busy street, or a suburban area, or even a beautiful beach like this. So I've shown you some of the English examples, and to overcome the language barriers that I referred to earlier, we would like to make this available in every single language. So far, we have done this in 50 languages. So you can see the latitude and longitude at the top. So every single 3 meter square, in a way, has now 3 unique words in English, in Spanish, in Hindi, Tamil, and so on. And out of the 50 languages we've done so far, 11 of them are South Asian languages, as South Asia is a really important market for us. And just to elaborate a bit more on why What3words works really well with voice, is I will walk you through some of the reasonings. So the first one is we have selected 25,000 to 40,000 words from the dictionary. So it's really easy for the voice assistants to understand because they're just working with a limited number of words. And just for context, for example, in Germany, there are approximately 100,000 unique street name addresses. So having to teach that for every single language, for every single country, can be quite a daunting task, but when it comes to What3words, you're only working with a set number of words. And The second reason, so this is a bit of a cheating on our end, but what we've done is whenever we work on the word list, so we remove homophones. So words like here or come here, they've all been removed, so for extra clarity. So this has been done in every single language. So whenever we launch a new language, we work with group of linguists who go through the words to approve they can indeed go in the word list. And the third reason is What3words is a deliberately non-hierarchical system. So what I mean by that is we try to place similar sounding words as far away as possible. So we circumvent the problem of the church street that we've seen today. So for example, in this case, table, chair, lamp, as you can see, is in Australia, but table, chair, lamps is in the US. So if I accidentally said table, chair, lamp when I was trying to navigate in the US, the machine can immediately recognize that I've made a mistake, or it will be very obvious to me that I have made a mistake, so it becomes easier. So this is the error detection, or the auto-suggest working in action. So consumers can either use our free app, What3words, or they can visit the website to discover and find these 3-word addresses, as they have all been assigned by our algorithm. And as for businesses, to make our voice technology available, in partnership with Speechmatics, we have launched a voice API, which helps you convert a spoken 3-word address to a latitude and longitude. In addition, we also work with the big voice assistant systems like Amazon Alexa, SoundHound, Cerence, and MiHub in India as well. And our technology, both voice and the core technology, are being used by thousands of businesses around the world. And I think the best way to think about What3words and how it can be used by businesses is we're just like a normal street address. So for example, Lonely Planet, which is a very famous guidebook, as you can see here, they have listed the recommended places, and for every single one of them, you can see our logo there. That includes a 3-word address. So if you want to find exactly where a certain place is, you can simply search for the 3-word address. And it can also be used for delivery. So Domino's Pizza in countries like the UK and Saudi Arabia also deliver to 3-word address, so your pizza arrives hot and fresh, and the drivers don't have to go around looking for where exactly the entrance to your building may be. We also work in the automotive space. So Mercedes, they were the first car company to integrate What3words in their car navigation system. So every single Mercedes car in the world, including the ones in India, you can either type in a 3-word address or speak a 3-word address of your desired destination to navigate to the precise location. And lastly, just a bit more information on what we're doing in India. We entered a strategic partnership with Brand Capital Investment, who are the venture arm of Times of India. And we have been working very closely to promote the What3words system to consumers, including a full-page ad on Times of India. And we've also been used by hotels and such as Fern Hotels. So you can see at the very bottom here, they have added the 3-word address so the guests can find exactly where the entrance is more easily. We also work with emergency services. So BVG India, they were the first to implement What3words in their control rooms. So if you get into trouble and if you're struggling to communicate your exact location in case of an emergency, you can read out the 3-word address and they can identify your location more easily. And this is one of the more recent ones. So TVS Motors, they have also built in What3words in their companion app, so the riders can freely navigate to any location they want. And lastly but not least, Tata Motors is our flagship customer in India. They have integrated What3words in the same way that Mercedes did, and I would like to end on a quick video to showcase how it's actually being used.
India loves a good adventure. And it's always ready to travel further and beyond. To explore new terrains. To meet old friends. To wander off to places untagged or reconnect with memories that make you smile. And to help India on this adventure, Ira brings you What3words, a simple and unique addressing system that takes you to the precise location every single time. It divides the world into tiny squares so you don't go around in circles. Just say the 3 words to navigate to the right location wherever it may be. So, get ready to see new places, make new friends, and start new journeys. Ira, in sync with India.
Thank you very much. This is the end of my presentation. I'm happy to take any questions.